Today we are going to talk through AI and your coaching business, where you should be using AI with coaching your clients and where you shouldn't. So for the record, I've been a personal trainer for more than 15 years now, and I built my online fitness business to well over 100 clients myself and well over 500 clients total in the business. And one of the ways I was able to do that was by having really, really good coaching systems that enabled us to deliver really high quality coaching without taking up a massive amount of time. And systems and technology was one of the first things I implemented in my business back in 2019. And now AI has come in and made that even easier. But there is a line with what you should be using AI for, because if you use AI for too much of your coaching, then it basically becomes a tech business and it takes you out of it, which means that it's not that valuable. People pay for human interaction and human accountability. So I'm going to show you in this video and break down what AI can do for your business right now, what you should be using it for, and what you should still be doing yourself to make sure that you have a high touch premium program that gets people incredible results. Okay, so let's talk about AI and human. The way I like to use AI is doing all the technical, repetitive tasks that I already know what I'm going to do. I just need to actually manually do it, okay? And AI has taken some really good developments over the past year or so to allow you to do a lot of these things yourself. Okay, so the first thing is programming. That means the workouts for your clients, that means progression, that means swapping exercises, and you can even use it now to analyze client form and give them real-time feedback on joint angles and things like that, okay? That takes out a massive amount of time that you used to actually have to spend doing yourself. You had to manually program every workout, you had to add reps and sets, you had to add extra exercise onto things, you had to swap out workouts for people. Now you can set up the AI once for how you like to program, how you like the exercises done, what you like the progressions to be, what like for like swaps that you will allow people to do within your program, and AI can do all of that for you. That means that a lot of the paperwork and program creation side of things is already taken care of with AI. The second thing is nutrition planning. One of the biggest time sinks when I was a fitness coach was creating meal plans and changing meal plans for my clients, okay? I know that people can track and you can just let them do whatever they want with MyFitnessPal, but often people aren't educated enough and people aren't disciplined enough to actually use that tool correctly on their own. So you need to give them examples of meals, example meal plans, maybe a weekday meal plan and a weekend meal plan. If you're working with athletes, you might do a training day, a non-training day, a heavy training day, a light training day. So it means that you need to do a lot of nutrition planning. And then when they get bored of the food, you need to make the swaps and the changes and rotate meals out. And that can take an actually decent amount of time. Now, with AI, you can set up recipes, you can allocate swaps within certain parameters. So you can say, if somebody's got chicken breast, I will allow them to swap it for these particular sources. Not everything in the world, but these particular things that they can swap in. For carb sources, you can take out certain carbs and put in certain ones. For fat sources, you can allow them to rotate through certain ones that you actually think are useful for the person. So instead of them just having free reign to do whatever they want with the tracking, you can actually do really high level nutritional planning with the AI. Now, again, there's a little bit of a setup process because you need to give it the parameters. You need to say, this is what I believe that people should be eating like. This is what I believe my clients should be eating like. This is what I want them to eat. This is what I don't want them to eat. This is the amount of protein I want them to have. This is the amount of processed food that they're allowed, etc. And the AI will actually do nutritional planning for your clients. So if your client types in and says, hey, I'm sick of, this spaghetti bolognese meal at 7 p.m. Can we swap that out? You can just give them a list of pre-approved meals that they can swap in and out with full recipes, with shopping lists, which means that actually that saves you a ton of time and also probably gives you a higher level of service, because doing shopping lists and stuff like that, people don't usually do because it takes fucking ages. The final thing is tracking. Okay, so one of the big things when I moved my clients onto an app was the fact that I could see all of my clients' progress in one go. So I could see how many workouts that they'd done, I could see where they were on their nutrition, I can see what their step trends was like, I could see what their weight trend was like, and I could look at all that on a dashboard. With AI, they can take that another level up by actually giving you a detailed report of your client every single week. So every single week, the AI can look at all the data and give you a detailed report of where the client's doing well, where the client needs to improve, things that they've improved on, things that they've regressed on, things that might need to change. And it can also highlight any like words and things that they've said within any of the workouts that means that it needs to make a swap. So you can literally have a bird's eye view and a detailed report from every single client every single week. It's almost like putting a little scout on your clients to follow them around the day, and they come back and give you a report at the end of the week, which allows you to then do better check-ins. So those are the three big things that I think AI is super useful within your coaching program. And this can make, your setup of clients really simple. It can make your day-to-day management of clients really simple, and it will save you hours within your coaching program. However, there are things that AI is absolutely terrible at that you still need to take over as a human. So the first thing I never will allow AI to do, and I don't think you should either, is goal setting. People can basically, if they talk to AI enough, they can basically make it tell them whatever they want it to tell them. So if somebody goes into a conversation with a particular bias, they can just continually ask the AI questions until the AI gives the answer that they want. That's why it's awful for holding people accountable, because basically you can just work your way around it until it tells you what you want to hear. That's not a good thing for people, because people have a default notion to take the easy road, to do things that are easier for them now, even if it costs them progress in the future. Okay, that's why people end up overweight. People don't end up overweight because they don't know what protein is. People end up overweight because they constantly negotiate with their own decisions and then end up in the place where they are. All you do is replace that decision-making process with something that they can manipulate and talk back to them and make them feel even better about changing those decisions, okay? So goal setting and setting accurate goals is one of the first things that you should do with a client, and it's one of the things that you should do manually, because you've got the experience of knowing what people need to be doing and what accurate goals are and what realistic goals are. You also have the ability to talk with them back and forth and challenge them on any of their thinking and behavior that's allowing them to set either too high goals or too low goals. AI will just allow them to do whatever they want. So goal setting is the first thing that you need to do as a human within your coaching program. The second thing is coaching and advice, okay? So I'm gonna kind of detail what coaching is first. Coaching is asking people questions that they already really know the answers to, but you're getting them to answer with the right answers and the right behavior. So for example, if someone doesn't stick to their diet because they've decided to have a McDonald's on a Friday and they've eaten 3,500 calories in one meal, the job of coaching is to ask them why they made that choice. What things they potentially now have given up because they've made that choice. What they need to do in future in order to make a better choice, and what actions can they take. And why are they going to stick to that now when they said they were going to before, but they didn't? What are they taking away for themselves? What damage are they doing to themselves? They're taking themselves further away from the goals. How does that affect them? How does that affect their future? How does that affect their loved ones and the people that they care about? Okay, all of those questions are going to allow someone to then change the way that they think about something and make a better decision next time. AI, again, is terrible at that. Why? Because people know it's a robot. They don't feel any real human connection to it, meaning they will just talk and talk and talk to it, but it doesn't really land. It doesn't have any depth. The same thing with advice. If someone comes to it with a particular problem, the AI cannot pull from years of detailed experience on to give them the right advice for that individual situation. It can give them blanket advice. It can give them generic advice from hundreds of other people, but every person is an individual. Everyone has their own motivators. Everyone has their own values. Everyone has their own things. And you only learn how to give clients great advice the longer you work with them, because you learn them as a person. The problem with AI is technically as soon as it runs into a slight problem that it doesn't really know the answer to, it just defaults back to a general answer. And that then gives people general advice, which really isn't what people are paying for. People are paying for someone to hold them accountable and to motivate them in order to do so. And that comes to the final bit, okay? Accountability. One of the reasons why people sign up to coaches is because they want someone to hold them accountable. And a lot of times people pick a coach because they look at the person that's coaching them and thinking, I will listen to this person. This person is somebody that I respect their opinion enough to listen to them and allow them to hold me accountable. To hold someone accountable, the person that you're coaching has to allow you to do so, okay? So remember, like when you're in, I was a substitute teacher for a little bit in between teaching jobs. When you're a sub teacher, it's a struggle to hold kids accountable because they know you're not going to be there tomorrow. Therefore, they don't respect the things that you say, meaning that you can't do the job. If you're going to be their science teacher for the next 3 years, they're more likely to let you hold them accountable because they know that you're going to be there and they don't have a fucking choice. When you go pick a personal trainer, you pick someone that you know you respect, because you won't pick somebody that you know you won't listen to and you don't care about the opinion of, okay? People do not care about the opinion of ChatGPT or Claude. They know as soon as they click that little X on the window, that's gone forever. There's no judgment, there's no respect, okay? And that means that people will generally just default back to the decisions that they'll make on their own. And accountability is one of the biggest jobs that a coach has to do. Because again, a lot of the time, people can figure this bit out for themselves. It's getting them to do it and do it consistently enough so they see results. And that has to come from somebody that they respect. So therefore, you should be doing that. That means the outcome of this, though, is a net positive for your coaching business. Because what it means is it's not like you now don't have to coach your clients, okay? But there are times when you're running maybe 50, 60, 70, even up to 100 clients, where you spend so much time doing this stuff, you don't have as much time to do this stuff as you would want. Okay, you spend more time changing workouts, you spend more time building nutrition plans, you spend more time getting clients to track the data, when instead you could be working with them on goal setting, you could be coaching them, you could be giving them advice, and you could be holding them accountable, which these are the things that really get people results. Because if people could just get results from a meal plan and a nutrition plan and a training plan, people would just download them off the internet and get results all day. The reason why people don't get results is because they don't have this. So that means that you can spend less time doing this stuff and more time doing this stuff, which means that you will get better results. You will spend more time with the clients who need it, because you have to do this for everyone. You only have to do this for clients that actually need that in that moment, which allows you to be more proactive with actually reaching out and coaching clients where you're seeing this as like becoming a problem, where you'll see the tracking showing you that they're not doing certain things. Instead of you going, oh, well, I've got to change all these meal plans, I've got to do all this nutrition plan, you can go, that client's not hit the steps for the last 2 days. I'm going to get hold of that client and make sure that there's no reason why not, and get them to actually do it. So therefore, your coaching is more impactful, you get better results. Clients feel more cared for by you because you're catching them before things become an issue. And overall, you can, manage more clients, you can give a better service, you can get better results, but you should never take the human element out of it. Because as soon as you take this out of it, you just become another AI app, basically, and that's not what coaching is about. So in summary, AI can help massively with a lot of the admin and setup and changing and plans and things like that, which allows you as the human to do these 3 big core tasks that allow you to run your business and get results with your clients. So hopefully that was useful, gives you some ideas of how you can use AI and what to do with it. And if you've got any questions about AI and things like that, just drop a comment.